Hey everyone, and welcome! Today, we're going to tackle a really powerful tool that's completely changing the game for government purchasing in India. We're talking about the Government E-Marketplace, or GeM. And we're going to get specific. We're mastering a bidding process built for huge, complex projects.
So just picture this for a second. The government needs to build a brand new hospital. I mean, think about everything that goes into that. You've got MRI machines, beds, heck, even down to the office chairs and light bulbs. How on earth do you buy all of that stuff efficiently and still make sure you're getting the best possible price for every single thing? That's the puzzle we're solving today. And the answer to that massive puzzle is right here on the GeM platform. Think of it as the government's official one-stop shop for buying pretty much anything. It was designed from the ground up to make this whole process way smoother, totally transparent, and a whole lot more efficient. Let's see how they do it.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the shopping challenge itself. Then, we'll dive into GeM's solution, which is called BOK. After that, I'll walk you through how to actually create a bid, we'll cover the essential rules and some common questions, and then we'll wrap up with why this all matters so much.
All right, first things first. Let's really dig into the scale of this problem. When a government department needs to buy hundreds, maybe thousands of different things for one project, well, making a separate purchase order for each item would be a total logistical nightmare. It's slow, it's inefficient, and just trying to keep track of it all would be nearly impossible.
And that's where this thing called a bill of quantities, or BOQ, comes in and saves the day. The best way to think of it is like a master shopping list for a giant project. It lets a buyer bundle a massive number of different items together into one single organized tender. It takes all that potential chaos and turns it into a clear, simple list.
Now here's the really cool part. GeM doesn't just force you into one type of BOQ system. It actually gives buyers the power to choose the right way to evaluate bids based on what they need. And that flexibility is a real game changer.
So you basically have three main options. There's total value, which is simple. Whoever has the lowest grand total price wins the whole contract. Then there's group-wise, where you might bundle all the office furniture together, and one person wins that group. And then there's the star of our show today, item-wise, which lets you get incredibly specific.
We're really zooming in on item-wise today, because this method is all about maximizing competition and getting the most value. It lets different sellers, who might be specialists, bid only on the things they sell best. This means a buyer could give contracts to a bunch of different sellers, which ensures they get the absolute best price for every single item on their list.
Okay, so you're sold on the idea. You're a buyer, you've got your massive list ready. How do you actually do it? Let's walk through the process on the GeM portal, click by click.
First up, the easy part. You just log into the GeM portal, find the Browse menu right there on the dashboard, and from that drop-down, you're going to select BOQ Based Bidding. That's what gets the ball rolling.
And this is exactly what it'll look like on your screen. Once you're in, that menu on the left under Browse is your starting line. Just click on BOQ Based Bidding and you're on your way. Okay, stop. This next step is super important, so don't just click through it. Before you can even start building your bid, GeM makes you read and agree to this consent form. You really need to read it, because it spells out all your responsibilities and the specific rules for these kinds of bids. You have to click I agree to move forward.
All right, once you've agreed to the terms, you get to the fun part, actually building the bid. This is where you'll add all your items one by one, pick the right categories so the right sellers get notified, and then upload a detailed document that spells out exactly what you're looking for.
And this screen right here, this is your command center. You'll use that Add BOQ item section to build out your master list. And choosing the right categories is so important. That's how the system knows which specialized sellers to ping, which is how you get the best, most competitive bids.
Okay, so you've got the how-to down, but what about the rules of the road? Let's do a quick-fire round of the must-knows and some of the most common questions that pop up.
First rule, and it's a big one, there's a minimum entry fee, so to speak. Your total estimated value for the entire bid has to be at least 5 lakh rupees. This just makes sure that the BOQ tool is used for what it's meant for. Those really big, substantial projects.
And a few more key things to keep in your back pocket. With an item-wise bid, you have to put an estimated price for every single item on your list. You also have to give your bid a clear title so people can find it. And here's a great feature. You can choose to have a reverse auction after all the bids are in, which can drive those prices down even more.
Okay, here's a question we get all the time. Let's say you need to buy 100 laptops. But you need 20 of them to go to an office in Delhi, 30 to Mumbai, and the other 50 to Chennai. Can you do that in one bid?
And the answer is a huge yes. The system is totally built for this. For any single item on your list, you can add multiple consignees, which is just a fancy word for delivery locations. It makes managing complicated, nationwide projects so much easier.
All right, next up. What about when you're buying something complex, like medical equipment? You don't just want the machine, right? You need someone to install it, and you probably want a maintenance contract. Can you lump all that together?
You bet. This is honestly one of the most powerful parts of the whole system. You can bundle a product with all the services that go with it. Things like maintenance contracts, installation, and even training for your staff, all in one single claim tender.
So, we've gone through the what and the how, but let's zoom out for a second and talk about the why. Why does a feature like item-wise BOQ bidding even matter in the big picture?
It really all boils down to GeM's core mission, which is to make government spending more efficient, transparent, and inclusive. Item-wise bidding hits all three. It drives down costs, it creates a perfectly clear paper trail, and it gives smaller, specialized businesses a fair shot at winning government contracts.
And that really leaves us with one big question to think about. When every single rupee of public money is spent as efficiently as possible and with total transparency, it's about more than just getting a good deal. It's about building public trust, creating fair competition, and making sure our resources go where they can do the most good. A system like this isn't just a tool, it's a building block for better governments.